This is Advancing Your Business, Your People, and Your Legacy podcast, where we will discuss all things that impact the growth, value, and sustainability of privately held businesses. This podcast is produced by the Rawls Group Business Succession Planners, and I am Kendall Rawls, your moderator. Today I'm joined by Champ Rawls, a partner of the Rawls Group, and Gina Miller, who is a partner with Bennett Thrasher in their Dispute, Valuation, and Forensics department. Today we're going to talk about value. Depending upon one's perspective, value can take on many different meanings. Banks, IRS, Wall Street, valuation specialists, business owners, vendors, strategic relationships, such as franchisors or manufacturers, all view value differently. And depending upon one's reasoning for determining value, one's approach view could change, such as buying, selling, transferring stock, etc. So Gina, how do you determine value?
Well, when we're measuring the value of business, we are looking at three basic approaches to value. You can kind of think of it similarly to a commercial real estate. So what does it cost to build the building? That's an asset approach to value. What does a similar building cost in the marketplace? So that would be a market approach to determining the value. And then what are the rents that are generated less the expenses to determine the cash flows? That'll also help you determine the value of commercial real estate. Very similar in determining value of a business, though asset approach is rarely used because businesses tend to have more value than just what's on their balance sheets. But we will look at market multiples and find comparable companies that have either transacted or, if appropriate, we'll look at market multiples for publicly traded companies and do a comparison to determine what that multiple will be. And then also we'll look at an income approach, and that is looking at the future cash flows that are expected and then present value them based on the amount of risk in achieving those. I think the important part here is to remember that there are a lot of things that go into either that discount rate for an income approach or a multiple for a market approach. And that multiple really represents growth expectations and risk. And those are the things that we like to focus on to enhance the value of a company.
I would add on there that, the asset and market approach, the thing that supports those and helps generate the income are the people. And when we look at it, there are many different factors that we come in and look at a business and then hopefully bring to the table for you, Gina, to be able to go, how do I look at the numbers with the asset, the market, and the income to help develop the highest value with the financials. But when we are trying to focus on it, I think the things that we're looking at is who are the leadership team moving forward beyond somebody, if it's a transaction within a family, if it's a transaction to total third party, is that leadership team strong enough? Do we have enough bench strength on the key places to be able to, in a sense, survive a transaction, however it may be? And one of the real things that we look at is through any type of transaction, when you're looking at value, is what is the profitability during any type of transaction? Because inevitably, when you do a transaction, there's going to be some sort of shock to business and the people. And rather than making a shock become a business killer, we want to make sure that there's enough positive profitability that the company can weather any type of shock of a transaction. So those are the things that when we're talking about just value, we're going, who's on the team? If we don't have the right places on the team, how do we either develop them or how do we buy them, recruit them to make it as strong as possible to allow for the value of any type of asset in the market be the highest it possibly could?